Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, whatever place it is that you're tuned on to the Life Signatures Radio. Thank you so very much for joining, and I'm glad that yet another opportunity has been given to me today to do this podcast. It's an opportunity that I do not take for granted to do Life Signatures, where we're talking about purpose, productivity, and resilience every waking morning. This is a daily show if you're tuning for the very first time. It's a daily show. There's not a single day that you will come and you find there is no podcast, there is no episode here. So you can as well subscribe so that every time at exactly that moment, these episodes are going out at exactly 6 a.m. Okay, whatever place it is that you're tuned on, there is a particular hour that it goes out. You can never fail to find it. So you can subscribe to the show, whatever channel that you normally use. If you're on Deezer, if you're on Castbox, if you're on Google Podcasts, if you're on Amazon Music, whatever it is, just subscribe to it and you will not miss a single day to have a single episode coming your way, meant to inspire you, meant to let you think about purpose, your purpose, meant to let you think about your motivation, your inspiration, your productivity, meant to let you be equipped about being resilient in this life. So today we are going to close the series that we started talking about the question, what is the purpose of living? Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
So even as we come to a close of this series, we've been answering the question, what is the purpose of living? Why are you and I alive? You notice that I have not dared to give you the answer. I have given you a general answer, which is purpose. And also it comes from the desire of the Father. It comes from whoever it is that created you. If I molded this microphone that I'm using to record this podcast, I am the father of the microphone, so to speak. Father is the progenitor or the originator, okay? So my desire for crafting it is for it to capture sound, condense it, okay, into a digital format or whatever it is. That is my purpose for it. That's my desire for it. Now you see, the microphone is an inanimate object. It's not like you. You are not inanimate. You have a mind. You have a mind of your own. You have thoughts of your own. You have a will of your own. Right? You are living and you are active. Which means even when I have a desire, or the Father has a desire of your life, if this microphone was like you, was alive, was living, had a choice to make, has a brain to choose and so on, there is a possibility that this microphone will say, I don't want to capture sound. I want to hammer nails, okay? And it will go ahead and it will do that. And me as a progenitor, I'll be disappointed. I'm not doing this so that you can feel bad. I'm just saying that we need to grapple with that question. Why are we here? What is the purpose for living? And if someone really wants an answer to that question, you can get in touch with me one way or another where you've listened to this episode. You can get in touch with me, and I'm going to take you through 8 steps where you can be able to discover what your purpose in this life is. Even as we're coming to a close of these episodes where we're talking about what is the purpose for living, I want us to talk about the subject of potential. Yesterday we did talk about stay at school, and I've been using this analogy of the handcart pusher, right? You know that guy who is pushing a handcart in the street and is carrying heavy loads, transporting heavy loads on a handcart. Okay, so look at that guy once again. He comes back home, he's exhausted. It's not just his body that is tired, it is his mind also, his emotions. He's thinking. Unless he has built such a strong mental toughness, he will soon wear out. Sooner or later he wears out, especially if there is no hope for the manifestation of his purpose. Why? Because he is kind of steeped to a routine that is purely 100% about making a living, surviving the day, not even the month, the day. There are those of us who are doing the same thing like this guy, but we have the privilege of surviving the month. There are guys who have the privilege of surviving 3 months. Maybe some guys have the privilege who are wealthy of surviving the year. Those ones who are super rich, surviving for life. But look at it that way. The guy who is surviving for life, I mean, you already have your $2 billion in your account, which you can never exhaust in a lifetime. What do? What is your purpose for living? Are you getting the crux of this? So unless this handcart pusher had built such a strong mental capacity, they can easily give up, because all they are doing is survival. But one thing that can never be taken away from him as a handcart pusher is the fact that he is engaged, doing something, taking action, being responsible in the moment in time. He is deploying an aspect, some simple aspect of his potential. He is 1,000 times better than someone doing nothing. The potential that he has is unlimited, and it's directly connected to his purpose. And that applies to just about all of us. What this handcart pusher is going through, he's facing embarrassment in the face. And his mind has grown to think not about being embarrassed. He's grown some physical attributes and he's become strong, even though it's wearisome to do what he's doing. However, for as long as his level of desire is curtailed by the daily trudge to put food on the table, he might remain in that state all his life. It becomes difficult to move and to gravitate towards his purpose, one that will bring contribution, will bring growth, will bring exploitation of more of his potential and bring him fulfillment. So in short, the answer to the question, what is the purpose for living? The answer to that question we are asking today is the same question. For as long as we are not asking that question, at least from the angle of longing, desiring, deep desire to live it, we will keep leading a life without purpose, a life that is just survival. The answer is in the asking. The answer is in the asking from the level not of complaining, but from the level of wanting to genuinely know and to genuinely live that way. I have this question lingering on my mind at least every single waking day. There are responsibilities that are thrusted on me, and the day goes and another day comes, and the same thing happens. 1 week goes and another week comes, and the year is gone, and the question is still the same. Is this it? The answer to the question we're asking is the question. The same question. And there is an equalizer, ladies and gentlemen. All these things, purpose, potential, desire, and questions, are available to all of us. What is the purpose of your life? That depends on how desirous you and I are to know it. It depends on how incessant we are in asking these right questions and how we are deploying our potential today. The handcart pusher, chances are that he has a potential of entertaining people. Maybe he's been given a gift of speaking. I don't know. You cannot tell me that all he can do is to push a handcart. So if he's asking himself, what is this it? Is this all there is to life? The answers to that question, or the answer to that question, must be looked at from all those parameters. Asking the question, why am I here today? Asking the question, what can I do? What am I equipped with? And genuinely wanting to know the answers so that they can live this life. They can live it. That's how we do it. In other words, at the end of the day, this question is asked of us by life. Sometimes when we go through a situation, or when we observe life, the question sneaks up on us. But the best to do will be to be intentional in asking that particular question. To take over from life, now that life is demanding of you, why are you here? But take over from life and go on a tangent. Go somewhere quiet and start deliberating within yourself, and start meditating within yourself, and start asking within yourself, start seeking within yourself answers to this question. There are answers there. Are we willing? Do we have faith enough to stand and get some answers, and dare enough to start following through those answers? You know why we don't do this? We don't do this because there's a growth continuum. It's a process, number one. In other words, there's a maturity continuum that we need to go through. But then number two, we have some things that are on the plate right now, clutter, that we have to attend to. Kid is crying. The rent has to be paid. Food has to be prepared. The movie has to be watched, or is it the series? The football has got to be watched. And that's why day in and day out, we don't ask that question. We don't have the power enough to dare get an answer and dare be authentic with the answer. So what is the purpose for living? There is a purpose for living. It is the desire of the Father. But now that we are not inanimate objects, it is up to us. It is incumbent on us to seek it, to find it, and to live it. If not, all we'll be doing is survival. Ladies and gentlemen, we come to the close of this episode today, and even the series in itself. Tomorrow, we get an opportunity to start yet another series. Until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.